Welcome to the Know Before You Go Travel Show, where we share all the latest travel tips, tricks, and insights to make your next vacation the best one yet. So sit back, relax, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the show with Penyak Travel's George Penyak and our senior travel consultant, Janet Penyak.
What is up, everybody?
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back to another edition of the Know Before You Travel Show, and we've got a show for you today.
Yes, a very good one.
Very good one. And my voice is a little raspy. For those that have listened to the show for a very long time, you're going to tell I sound a little different. Not sick. I feel great. I feel fabulous,
Allergies.
Actually. The pollen, you said it was like the worst year for pollen or something?
Or that's what they were saying on the news, yeah.
That must be
that
what
we
it
have like
is.
the highest level pollen counts right now. So
I mean, I ran to the gym today. Like, I'm physically fine. It's just like, it's got to be the pollen.
yeah, you need some different salty air, I guess. Like
Yeah,
maybe down in the Caribbean, like where we're going in a few weeks.
Yeah, we are leaving in a few weeks. Got to do a preview episode of that.
Yes, we will.
Pretty excited about it. But anyways, hope you guys are having a great week. It is Sunday here. We're having a little Sunday fun day. Get on the podcast, and we're glad you guys are with us today. But yeah, we thought because the travel surge is happening right now.
Yeah, it's been insane.
Prices are going up.
They are going up.
We have been saying this. Prices are going up. It was all-time lows there for a very long time, and now they're starting to creep back up. And with that, with everyone booking, because obviously people are booking, we figured what better episode to do than talk about what to pack. Like, make sure, like...
Well, I actually got this idea from one of my clients because she sent me an email asking if we had done a podcast on this, and I was like, no, but that is a great idea. We absolutely should. So shout out to Rebecca, who is about to go on her honeymoon to Jamaica next week, staying at beautiful Sandals Montego Bay.
Yes, thank you, Rebecca. And guys, if anyone out there has a suggestion for an episode you'd like us to cover, or a topic, or a question of the day, slide right into our DMs.
Yes, or send me an email.
Yeah, best way you can get a hold of us. All the links will be in the show notes, so you'll have all the links to get a hold of us. But we're excited because we're going through this, and I think there's a lot of things that maybe not the average traveler might not think about.
Right.
And there's certain things that you, like when you're traveling, especially to the Caribbean, that you might really wish you have in the moment.
Yes.
And you just didn't bring it. And this list is long. It's going to seem like, oh my gosh, I got to pack everything. But you may already pack a lot of these things, but there may be a couple nuggets here that you can take and just throw into your bag.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, these are all just suggestions. So it's not like, you absolutely have to pack every single one of these items, but they're good to have.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And these are like a lot of these items we pack. I mean, this is kind of almost our standard list. And it's a pretty long list. It's going to sound crazy, but a lot of this stuff is small, very compact. So it's nothing too crazy. Some of the stuff we actually don't take with us, but there's a couple things on there that sometimes we take, sometimes we don't. But I think it's a good list.
Yes, it absolutely is. So first and foremost, don't forget your passports on your way to the airport.
Yeah.
I can tell you I have done that before. Thankfully, it was the day before we were leaving, or I was leaving. We were driving from Columbia, South Carolina to Atlanta. And I had an early morning flight out of Atlanta the next morning. And that's about a 3.5 hour drive. And so we got 2.5 hours there, and then I remembered that I did not have my passport, that I had left it at home. So then we had to turn around and go all the way back and then drive all the way back to Atlanta. So it turned what should have been like a 3.5 hour day drive into almost 8 hours. So
it was awful.
Awful.
I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, how does a travel professional of all
I know.
people?
Because I'm busy,
Forget.
And when you are like leaving on a trip, you're thinking of so many things because you gotta pack, and you've got to make sure. I always like to have the house clean before I leave. You got to make sure your animals are set up with their care, and there's a lot going on. So
no, there is for sure. So that's why we have this list for you, and I'm going to post this list as a blog post on our website, so people can go right to it and just reference it. So we'll put the list probably in the show notes if we can squeeze it in the show notes, and we'll also put it as a blog post at penyaktravel.com.
And one other thing is I do suggest making a copy of your passport and carrying that with you just in case. Just to be on the safe side, just take 1 or 2 copies of your passport with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And put it in a safe place. Whenever you get to your destination, put it in a safe place if you're not going to take it with you, which if you're on like a resort or something, you're not going to carry it with you.
Yeah.
Put it in the safe that's in the room. Put it just in a very, very safe place because, it's not likely that it'll happen, but it can happen. You don't want to lose it, or it gets stolen, or it get turned up missing, and then you're in a
you're in a pickle.
You're in a pickle. Yeah, you want to avoid that at all costs. But anyways,
Yes.
we forgot to do our shout-outs.
Oh, yes, we do have some shout-outs. So shout out to Emily from Atlanta who slid into our DMs and is looking to plan a trip for the end of May or June for an all-inclusive.
Yes,
so
thank you,
Emily. And then I may be mispronouncing this name, but Faisal from Memphis looking to plan a company trip to LeBlanc and Cancun.
Could be Faisal.
Or Faisal. Yeah, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But thank you so much for reaching out. And then Octavia from Charlotte looking to plan a trip to Cabo. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you guys so much. Again, the best way to support the show is if you're planning a trip. We're a free agent. We are a free service. We do not charge anything. We're a zero-fee travel agency. We price match stuff online. You're not going to pay a penny more than you would pay online to use us. And you get Janet's service. I'm not really much of a service when it comes to the travel side. I'm more of like a sideshow here.
Sideshow Bob.
But Janet and all of our great agents can help you guys. And again, we're a free service. And by the way, if you're not traveling, mash the subscribe button. We'd love for you to subscribe to the podcast. We just kind of give our best content away for free. And we hope you guys are enjoying the show here.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
Now, moving back on. So this is kind of a packing list, for a beach vacation, like an all-inclusive vacation, Caribbean trip, that sort of thing. So obviously you're going to bring your swimsuits. Don't forget that. And then definitely bring sunscreen. And you might think that that's an obvious, but I just want to mention it because you don't want to travel without it and then have to buy it at these resorts because they jack the prices way up.
It is not cheap. Like it's like $20 for a small little
$27.
Yeah.
I've seen it as high as $27 for just a small bottle of sunscreen at an all-inclusive resort. In that same bottle, you can get at Walmart or Target for $10 or less.
Yeah, so it's like over double the price, and they have a captive audience, and that's what they do. And I mean, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, that's just how it is, especially in some of these smaller islands. It's just how it is.
Yeah, so make sure you bring that as well as sunscreen chapstick. And then one thing...
chapstick, that's a good one.
Yeah, sunscreen chapstick.
Because every time I don't wear... I'll put sunscreen on everywhere when we ever go out. And if I forget the chapstick, I know it. Like every time I golf, I come back and my lips are just raw and red.
Yeah.
And they're burned. They're a little sensitive.
Yes. So definitely you want to bring that. And then one thing to think about, so like when I was in Hawaii back in 2019, the excursion company that we did it was called Wild Side Specialty Tours, and we went and swam with the dolphins in the wild, which is like the coolest thing I've ever done. But they required that we had reef safe sunscreen and actually checked our sunscreen before we got on the boat. So just make sure, where you're going, you might need to have reef safe sunscreen.
If you're going to do a kind of an excursion like that.
Yeah, if you're going to do some sort of snorkeling or scuba diving.
It's definitely not ever required. We haven't come across a resort yet where it's required if you're just going to do that on your own off the beach.
Right.
But if you're going to a specific reef for an excursion, chances are it'll probably be required, right?
Yeah, it definitely could. So I would just suggest bringing it. I couldn't find it at Walmart or Target, so I bought it off Amazon.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
And then, of course, so speaking of sunscreen, for those times that you forget to reapply your sunscreen, you definitely want to have some sort of aloe gel because, you're going to need to remedy your sunburn.
Yeah, and a lot of the resorts I've noticed, at least the ones that we've been traveling to lately, have had the lotion in the room. They have some sort of like sensitive skin lotion, or if you have a sunburn, that's really nice. But also, it's not bad to bring your own.
Well, aloe, they don't have aloe in the rooms. I haven't seen one that has aloe.
Yeah, can I throw one that's not on the list?
Sure.
And by the way, I love these shirts. I don't put on sunscreen.
That's actually a great
I wear
thing.
the sun shirts.
Yes.
So if you don't see many women wearing the sun shirts, you definitely see a lot of men wearing it. So for all my men out there that are very sensitive to the sun, I rock the sun shirt. And
pasty white like George.
I burn. The sun does not like me. I am just pasty, crusty white. Not crusty, but just pasty.
Crusty.
I'm just like, the sun just fries me. And so the sun shirts have been a blessing because they feel good in the water.
Yep.
And I just get them off Amazon. They're like $20-$30, but they're worth every penny.
And they're long sleeve.
They're long sleeve, or you can get short sleeve too.
Yeah, but it
I want
protects
some
your
short sleeve ones.
Yeah, but it protects your whole upper body.
Yeah,
so.
and they work.
Yeah.
Even in the water too, they absolutely work. Now I've seen some on Amazon where the reviews aren't good. Check the reviews, make sure it's like legit.
Yep.
But when you're in and they feel good too. They're breathable. They're nice.
Yeah. definitely. That is a great one for the list.
There you go.
So next up, some sort of bug spray. So if you're going down to the Caribbean, Mexico, it's a tropical destination. There are lots of bugs. There's lots of mosquitoes. All of the resorts do a great job at spraying for those.
But if you're going on an excursion or something like that, the whole island won't be
right.
sprayed.
Well, and even if the resorts do a great job at spraying, no matter what, if you may be like me, the mosquitoes will find me no matter what. I have to wear bug spray. Even like in the summertime here in South Carolina, when I walk outside, I have to have it on because I get eaten alive. So definitely want to bring some bug spray with you for sure.
And you don't need like the biggest can. You can get away with a very small can of that'll just hold you off till just for a few nights, when you're traveling. So don't think that you have to go get like the commercial size, family size, batch for all of these items. Yeah, something small will work, and some of the stuff is really just in case. So.
And again, this is another item that when you are at a resort that they jack the price up on too.
Absolutely.
So
because they know you need it.
Yeah, I've seen it in Jamaica for like $20 for a small little thing of bug spray,
and it just like ticks you off. It's just like, man, come on.
And then, but it's like I need it because I'm getting eaten. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure you have that.
Yeah, you got to have it.
So definitely want to also bring a hat with you. If you're going to be laying out in the sun, you don't want your scalp to get burned. Definitely recommend some sort of hat for that. And then also thinking about going to the pool or the beach, I would suggest bringing some sort of beach bag so that you can carry your items easily down to the pool and the beach.
Yeah, and you get a tiny little bag that folds up. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just something to kind of throw a couple towels in from the resort. Your phones and anything like that you just want to sit on the, have out on the chair, when you're chilling.
And one way that I usually pack these, and it ends up kind of fitting into our suitcase really well. So we have a toiletry bag, and I end up putting our toiletry bag inside of the beach bag and then just lay it down flat. So then it helps to save space in the suitcase.
You're so clever.
Yeah.
You're so clever. All right, let me read the next one. All right, so because you're going down the list, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good one. Small bag for excursions. So just like a small bag, if you're going to bring, we like a little backpack.
Yeah.
We're bringing these small backpacks, and it's very light, and you can just throw stuff in it, and then it's easy to carry.
Yep.
But something small, so we always bring a backpack when we travel. Now we always bring our computers, so it's kind of easier for us to do that.
Yeah.
But when we go on an excursion, we'll take our computer out and just throw in like sunscreen and things that we need, and then we go.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. I think a small backpack is very convenient, especially if you're going to do a lot of resort activities.
Yes, definitely. And then, you can throw some water bottles in there, anything that you might need.
Yeah, and we always bring our laptop. We always bring our laptops. That's just kind of like par for the course for us. But I can see, hey, if you're on PTO and you're shutting it down, don't bring it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I also suggest bringing a portable charger. You're going to be, obviously now, your phones are really your cameras. So you're going to be snapping a lot of pictures, and it's going to drain your phone. So definitely bring a portable phone charger. You can get them at like TJ Maxx for, $10-15.
Yeah, and not every airplane nowadays
has the charging stations.
You would think by now they would all have them, but surprisingly a lot of them don't, even in first class. There's still a large percentage that just haven't implemented the charging ports. So definitely bring that, at least for the plane flight, if anything, but definitely it's good to have on the resort as well.
Oh, yeah, because, if you're sitting out at the beach and, you're just like maybe chilling, scrolling through Facebook,
or
Instagram, whatever, or an excursion, then, your phone's going to die quickly. So I would bring the portable charger.
Absolutely.
And another thing, I have never brought a portable tumbler, but I do often see that at a lot of resorts.
Yeah, so this is one thing that we don't necessarily do, but we see a lot of people do it.
Now, I had noticed they were not allowing people to use them the first few months that we traveled during COVID because
the exchange of the cup.
The exchange of the cup, and everybody's touching it. So, but it would be, you could definitely pack it, and the resort may or may not let you use it right now during COVID, but just something to think about. Definitely bring a koozie, for your beer to help keep it cold. Or,
if you book a Penyak travel, we actually send you a couple koozies.
Well, I have not been sending out koozies because everything's been electronic because of COVID.
But,
but I do have some koozies, so if you want some, I'm happy to send them to you.
Yeah, we will send you some koozies, Penyak travel koozies.
We've got like 500 of them. So
a ton of koozies.
I had just
boxes and boxes.
We just
of them.
reordered them before COVID happened. So, another good thing to think about is I would recommend bringing a reusable straw. So, a lot of these resorts and islands, they've gone to the plastic, or not plastic straws, the paper straws.
Paper straws, yeah.
And, you know, if you're sipping on a pina colada or whatever,
These paper straws don't work well.
They don't work well at all.
Let's just call it what it is. They don't work as well
I
as
understand
the
why
plastic
they do it.
For sure. It's better for the environment. Totally get it.
Right. But I always like using a straw, so they do make reusable straws.
Yeah, the like stainless steel ones.
Yeah, stainless steel. So, you know, I would consider getting one of those and just taking that with you.
Yeah, and you know, there's nothing worse than biting into that straw when you think you don't know it's a reusable one, and it like, you know, 'cause some people like bite the straw a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh man, it's stainless steel.
Yeah.
I've done it once or twice.
I just said that would not be good.
They've given me one. I don't know. It looks like a normal straw, and I just chomp down on it.
Yeah.
I'm not a straw biter, but you sometimes just don't know.
Okay, well, that's enough on that topic.
All right, moving on.
You definitely want to bring like some sort of travel first aid kit. I have a little packet that I carry with us.
Yeah, we're not talking about like a defibrillator or anything. We're talking about a very small. Well, some people might need to bring that.
It's literally a handheld, and I just have like gauze, Neosporin, and Band-Aids in there. I
mean, it's probably like 4 inches by.
Yeah, it's very small.
Tiny,
you can buy them in Target or Walmart, and I like to carry that. And we actually have needed it because I think, it was me. I busted my foot open on a beach chair when we were in Grenada one time, and
too many rum punch.
Probably so.
Too much rum punch.
And I mean, obviously they have a nurse's station, but if you don't want to take the time to go to the nurse's station for something like that, you know, and you have it in your room, it's just quick, easy.
You were a wounded warrior, and the first aid man had to come over. The nurse.
There you go.
And patch you up so you can get back out there on the battlefield and go to the swim-up bar and enjoy the rest of your drinks in the afternoon.
Yes, that is correct.
You're a hero.
So, next up, obviously you want to make sure you have all the over-the-counter medications that you might need. You know, Advil, Tylenol, Imodium. You know, you're in a different environment. You know, you might be drinking a lot, eating different foods. So
it's good to have that kind of stuff.
It's good to have that kind of
again,
stuff.
We're not talking about a huge family-sized bottle of each, but just maybe a couple individual packets. Usually, some of them come in the first aid kits, but just something nice to have. And you know, and I agree with you there.
Now, we've never traveled with this. I actually just recently came across this.
And
it's pretty cool.
And this next one we're mentioning, this company is not affiliated with the show. We just thought it was really cool, so we're going to mention it.
Yeah, so
they're not an advertiser or anything. We're just.
Yeah, and apparently, I guess I'm sure there's some other options, but a hangover remedy. So there's this company called Blowfish, and it's approved by the FDA, and it includes it's 2 tablets that you just put in your water, and then I guess they dissolve and you drink it, and they have aspirin and caffeine in it, and supposedly they make you feel better in like 15 minutes.
No clue if it works.
Yeah, I don't know if it works.
It's an FDA approved cure, I guess, for a hangover. Now. We usually don't get hungover when we travel. It's very rare that, but you know.
But we always see somebody that we're like, that person's going to be hungover tomorrow.
We always see someone at the swim-up bar and we're like, man, they're having way too much and the sun is just beaming down on them because the sun kind of amplifies everything.
Yeah.
And then you're not drinking much water. So you have the sun beating down on you, you're having a blast. You know,
remember that girl in Cabo, and then we didn't see her for like 2 days.
Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah, that was bad.
And you just feel so bad for them. You're like, they did it to themselves.
Yeah,
you just know that next morning is like you
the
just
worst
lost
day.
the whole day of your vacation.
Right.
But the sun will get you while you're drinking. It's kind of a amplified effect, and it's not good.
Yeah, rule of thumb: 1 bottle of water for every drink that you have.
Yeah, 1 for 1, and you're going to be fine. And a lot of these resorts, the ones that we send them on. It's included. It's all you can drink bottled water too. And so, anyways, luckily for us, we kind of keep it together. But you never know. Hey, it always happens.
It happens
you're
to the best
having
of us.
fun. You're having fun. Now, I'm not saying I'm a saint and it's never happened to me, but for sure. But
and George actually at one time, so when he went to a bachelor party in Vegas, he took dry yeast. Apparently, that is also something that can help you with hangovers. So
let me explain the dry yeast thing.
Yeah,
because now we're on story time. Let me just tell the quick story. So I read that I think it was the CEO of Sam Adams, he would go to all these events when they were selling their beer at trade shows. They were a smaller company, do all these things. And, you're a beer company. You're always sampling beer and drinking beer. And people would see him out, and he would drink beer all day at these events and never get drunk or never seem off his game at all. And someone finally asked him, like, how do you do that? Like, you're always out and about. And it might not be Sam Adams. I can't remember. It's a company like Sam Adams. I think it's a beer company. And what he said is he puts little packets. You can get them at the grocery store. Fishman's dry yeast. And it's small, like it's
Fishman's or Flushman?
I think it's Fishman's dry yeast.
Something like that.
Anyways, and all it is dry yeast. It's like a powder. And it's a little packet. It's probably like the size of a wet nap packet. And it's just filled with that. And so all he does is like he keeps it in his pocket, pulls it out, tears it open, and he just puts a very little bit in his hand and just kind of pops it in his mouth every like hour or so.
I thought you put it in like water or something when you were
No,
there.
I didn't. Because you don't always have water with you. You just keep the pack in your pocket and you unfold it, put a little bit out.
How do you just put powder in your mouth though?
It's not powder. It's like it's more grainy like salt.
Ugh.
It doesn't taste like salt, but it's thicker. And
but I'm sure you could put it in like a water and drink
I'm sure
it.
you could. I mean, I just had it with me, and I just every hour or so I'd put it in there and pop it in. And you know what? It does work. Yeah. The yeast helps your liver and body break down the alcohol. Yeah. And it does work.
So it helps you not be hungover.
It helps. It completely does help. I have done this. I was at a bachelor party. I was a lot younger, and we were drinking all day. And I was
for 3 days.
People asked me what I was doing. I was like, well, hey, I've heard this helps with hangovers the next day. I was fine the next day. Yeah. And actually, I went to the gym in the morning, and these guys were just out.
Your friends, yeah.
It was. I mean, I didn't see them for half a day. Yeah. They were all gone. They had the headaches and all that stuff. And so it's kind of just a tidbit here.
Yeah, just a little tip there.
Yeah.
So next up on the list, I would recommend bringing a pool float. So obviously a lot of resorts, they already have them, but we have noticed during COVID, a lot of them have pulled them up just that way, it's not like one person using it and then just leaving it in the pool and then somebody else getting on it, without it being sanitized. Yeah. So bring a pool float, and actually a lot of the resorts, if they have a dive shop, they'll blow them up for you. I know the Sandals will. They will inflate them for you.
Yeah, and that's really cool too. And it's kind of fun when you see people in their own floats, and they'll bring like flamingos and things like that. That's pretty cool.
Remember we saw that bull that one time? So it looked like they were like riding a bull in the pool.
I do remember that.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was good. Up next here, I love this one. This is kind of one that we don't pack this, but we should.
I know. I'm going to buy some.
Yeah, beach towel clips. Yeah. So if you love the beach, a lot of these
or in just the pool too.
Yeah, Caribbean Mexico can be very windy.
Yeah.
And it keeps your towel down on your chair.
Yes.
And I think that is a brilliant one that we need to start doing.
Yes. And just speaking of towels, because I do get asked this question a lot, do I need to pack towels? No, you do not need to pack towels. I have never been to any resort that did not provide them. So
yeah, for sure. And this next one on the list here, we don't do this, but I've seen people do it. If you
and I will have a little something to say about it. But yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll pass it right back to you.
Well, no, I was gonna say a Bluetooth speaker, but with the Bluetooth speaker, the resorts do not want you playing that like extremely loud because they already have their own music, that is playing at the pool, or you could be at a quiet pool and they don't allow it, but as long as you bring a Bluetooth speaker and you don't have it playing loudly, then, I think that's fine. But you also have to be mindful and respectful of the other guests around you. They might not want to hear, whatever music you might be blasting. So just be aware of the volume.
Yeah, of course. And we've seen some resorts where people come and they bring a speaker and it's loud. You don't want to do that. And really, my take on the Bluetooth speaker is like, if you're going to listen to it quietly, which you probably should,
you
play
should.
it on your phone. Just play it quietly on your phone.
Yeah.
Just so you can hear it and chill.
Another one, swimsuit cover-ups. I mean, that's kind of obvious, but, if you're hanging out at the pool or the beach and maybe you want to go grab lunch and it's like, say, inside one of the buffets or something like that, you can't just walk in your wet swimsuit, so you'll need to be in a cover-up, so I just recommend bringing that. Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No.
And then there's also, they make wet bags so you can put these, you take these with you, and then let's just say if your swimsuit's not dry, the morning that you're leaving to head home, you can put your swimsuit in this wet bag, and then it keeps, I guess the the water
yeah.
contained to that bag.
Yeah, another hack for that, too, is just bring like a plastic grocery bag. If you have like a grocery bag laying around, you can just pop it in there.
Yeah, but I don't think that's as good.
I don't know. We don't pack that.
No, I don't pack it, but I mean, some people do.
Yeah, it's a good thing to have.
Water shoes. So,
especially if you're going to have a lot of excursions. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, if you're going to do a lot of excursions, say like hiking a waterfall or something like that, then you definitely want to have some water shoes. That's a great thing.
And most water shoes are small and light, and there's no laces or just stretchy. Very easy to pack.
Yes, definitely. Selfie stick. Who doesn't love a selfie stick?
I know you love a selfie stick.
I do love a selfie stick. Well, I mean, that way, you can make sure to get a good angle for your pictures.
Yeah, and with COVID, you don't have to ask people to take a picture of you and pass your cell phone to them. Bring the selfie stick. And we've gotten some really good pictures on the selfie stick. Hey, our
selfie sticks are well-traveled.
Yeah, they're well-traveled here. I think we got the ones we have now. No, we don't have the one from Italy, do we?
No, that one finally broke. But the one that I do have now is from Paris. So.
There were so many people selling selfie sticks in Italy.
Yeah.
Like
it was every corner.
We had one. We're walking around with one, and every corner they're like, "Do you want a selfie stick?" I'm like, "I've got my selfie stick right here. I don't need two of them." but hey, the hustle's real.
And they were same thing in Paris. They were selling them all around the Eiffel Tower.
Great idea.
Which actually was perfect because we had our selfie stick, and it ended up breaking,
so
like right by the Eiffel Tower. And then luckily there was a guy selling them, so we got another one.
I mean, you can hit a pitching wedge anywhere and you can get it to someone selling a selfie stick.
It definitely in Europe you can.
They are every freaking where, and they're usually a pretty good price. I mean,
yeah, they're not
like
bad.
$20, $10 or something.
I was gonna say maybe 10, 15.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I mean, when there's an abundance of them, they can't be that expensive. I think they're like $10.
Yeah, and then if you are, if you like to take a lot of pictures, I would also suggest maybe a little mini tripod, because then you can do like the timer on your phone and maybe get an even like wider frame. So that's just something to think about.
Absolutely, and then also this next one too. This is we pack this obviously because we make a lot of videos when we travel for our YouTube channel and all that good jazz. But this is something good too, because I think this can help capture some great memories, especially on certain excursions. Is GoPro. Now GoPros are pricey. I'll say this: so if you don't, because we own a couple GoPros. I'll say this: if you're not like big into video editing, or you're just doing this to capture your trip, don't buy the newest model. You can get like a couple models down, and they work just fine. They capture incredible. And we have actually the original one. Yeah. And then we also have I think the Hero 7. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the picture quality, actually pretty close. They're pretty close. Now, the Hero 7, you can do more things, like it's already waterproof and all this good jazz. And it has a touch screen, so there's a couple cool features of it. But if you're just trying to capture your trip and you're not going to use it for anything else, don't buy the latest and greatest. You can get away with an older model and it works just fine.
Yeah, and you want to, let's just say if you're going to go scuba diving or snorkeling, and you want to capture that, a good GoPro is a good thing to have. And then I would just bring something that I think they make those little things that kind of it's like handheld, and then you can wrap it around your wrist to make sure that you don't lose it.
Absolutely. So. And then if you're scuba diving, they have stuff like that you can tie to it that floats. So you can take it down with you, but if it slips out of your hand, it's going to go to the top of the water, not the bottom. Yeah. Usually a lot of these kits come with them. They come with all these accessories. And also, too, hey, it's good for the gram. Selfie stick and GoPro, do it for the gram.
Do it for the gram.
get your gram up.
And then another...
By the way, follow us on Instagram if you're not following us.
At
Penyak
do.
Travel and at No for Your Travel Show. A little plug.
Yes. And then also a waterproof pouch for your iPhone. They make a lot of these, and we have a couple. If you're going to maybe take your phone into the pool, to the swim-up bar, we recommend having a waterproof pouch for that.
Absolutely, yeah. Because you want to get a nice selfie at the swim-up bar.
Oh, you got to.
You got to.
Yeah, and then the bartenders, they're busy, so you don't want to bother them. So
got to show off the vacay.
Yes.
Got to.
So this is one of my favorite items to travel with, and I never leave home without it. Luggage scale.
Now, when you hear luggage scale, it's going to people that aren't familiar with luggage scale, they're going to think it's a big one that you set it on. No, it's a little.
It's a small handheld thing. Maybe.
Has a hook on it.
Yep.
And you literally hook your luggage on it and lift it up, and
it will tell you how much it weighs.
Yeah, your bag dangles from it, and it's probably like 5 inches wide. It's really small.
It's very small.
It's really tiny. You can Google it, grab one of those, but it's good because if you're going to buy a lot of things,
right,
you're gonna want to know if your luggage is overweight, if you need,
Well, a lot of times, you're already going down to the Caribbean or Mexico and your bags, it's hard for me to not pack almost 50 pounds of stuff because generally speaking, the airlines, I've gotten to be a lot better packer. We talked about this recently.
I just throw stuff in.
Yeah.
You have to pack for me sometimes. I won't pack enough.
Yeah, I know. So, but if you're already going to be close to, say, 50 pounds, if you're at 47, 48 pounds, because a lot of the airlines, the most you can have is 50 pounds unless you're in first class. They allow you a little bit more. But if you're already going to be close to that, well, you're going to bring some souvenirs back and then you might not pack the exact same way. So then it could put you overweight. So you can buy these luggage scales. They're like $5 or $10 at TJ Maxx, or you could probably order them on Amazon. And I just stick them in my book bag, carry it with me. And then that way I know, before we head back to the airport on, the morning that we're leaving, I weigh it. And then also,
before you leave,
for the airport too, you can check it to make sure.
You always see the people at the luggage scale, like changing and adjusting the bag. Don't be that person. Just get a little thing, have it forever. We've had one.
I was going to say, the one I've had,
the same one for like 12 years.
Yeah. The one I've had forever. It's been a very long time.
It's
that I've
not
had
going anywhere.
Yeah. And they're battery powered, so real easy. Now, if you want to do snorkeling right off the beach, some resorts have the snorkeling equipment. Some don't. Some right now are also charging for the mouthpieces during COVID. So instead of just sanitizing and then reusing them, you have to pay for a new mouthpiece, which I actually kind of think is a good idea.
Yeah.
I would recommend taking some snorkel equipment so you can snorkel right off the beach at some of the resorts because a lot of them do have great snorkeling right there. So I would recommend that. And then in terms of clothing, like what kind of clothing you should pack at these resorts. So, obviously...
A couple tips here.
Yeah, obviously you're going to, pack... shorts, tank tops, swimsuits, cover-ups, like we've already mentioned.
All that good stuff.
The biggest or one of the most important things is a lot of the resorts do have some sort of dress code, and you have what's called resort casual and resort evening attire. And so evening is going to be a little bit more dressy. So for the guys, that's long pants and closed-toed shoes.
And I hear you, fellas. I'm not
George
a fan.
hates this.
I'm not a fan of that policy either. I'm not a fan.
And it's not all of the restaurants, it's usually just a few. One to three.
And it's usually the best one.
Yeah. So
they just want to keep it nice, I guess, and the ambiance. I get it.
Right.
And they don't want people walking in swimsuits. They want you to be dressy.
Yeah, and they do that because they don't want people who just finish at the swim up bar.
Yeah. And
they're in swimsuits and a cover up to go into a nicer restaurant. So that's why they do it.
Yeah, my golfers out there, bring some nice golf pants that are real breathable. Have just some dress shoes on underneath them. And you're good to go. Golf polo or something like that, good to go. Lightweight, easy to pack.
And a collared shirt.
Collared shirt for sure.
Yeah. And then, in terms of what ladies can wear to those restaurants, we can kind of get away with anything, cute sundress, nice sandals, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I remember was it our honeymoon? I didn't bring pants. It was one of our original trips, and I bought some pants there, and it was the pants the Islanders wear.
Yeah,
and it was super baggy, really hand woven material.
Yeah, it was like the beach pants.
Really
I can't think of what you call those right now.
They were massive though. They were like MC Hammer pants.
Yeah,
and I remember I was wearing that with nice closed-toe shoes, and I looked like,
Well, hey, they let you in.
They're designed to be worn with sandals, I think, and I was wearing them with dress shoes. But hey, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Lesson learned.
Yes. Now, I would also recommend bringing, some sort of sneakers, even if you don't plan on working out. Some excursions require that you have that, if you're going to be doing, say, ATV riding or something like that. So you want to have them just in case. And then also talking about that, some excursions that you might do in different places, your clothing could get very dirty. You can ride the dirt bikes, ATVs, through the jungle. So you're going through mud and your clothes can get very dirty. So make sure you bring an old pair of clothes that you don't care about getting dirty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then also one more thing on the clothing, depending on the time of year that you're traveling, you may want to just pack one light sweater or jacket because, it doesn't get cold in these destinations per se, but in the winter months, the evenings you could have like low 70s or high 60s. So I would just suggest bringing a light sweater in case it's breezy because you might get chilly.
Yeah, I think that's a big one because people are traveling now, like right now in January, February, March, and you're thinking you're going to the Caribbean, it's going to be warm, and it's going to be shorts and everything. And for the most part it is, but at night it will get breezy, and it does get a little chilly.
Yeah.
And it's good to kind of have that. So just kind of be mindful. I would check out the highs and lows of where you're going and just kind of know what you're getting into.
Yes, definitely.
Like Cabo's one that like is sneaky cold.
Yeah, in the evenings, I mean, during the winter months, it can get down to the low 60s.
Yeah, and when you got a breeze and it's dry, it's chilly.
Yeah.
It's a little nippy out there.
Yeah. And then you also want to make sure you travel with a copy of your travel documents, your itinerary. I mean, it's kind of a given, but definitely. And then right now during COVID, if you're having to take a COVID test and before you travel to a destination that requires it, or if you're having to submit for travel authorization from the government, like some of the countries are requiring it, I just recommend that you print all of those out. You can have an electronic copy as well, but also make sure you have a hard copy printed and carrying it with you.
Yeah, until we're fully through COVID, it's good to have that right now. And last thing too, I want to mention too, and then I know you've got one more as well. This is a big one for me because I do travel a lot. I end up flying a lot, going to all these meetings. But anyways, find a comfortable mask that you're comfortable wearing on the plane. You're going to have to wear the mask. Think about how long you're going to be in an airport because you have to wear it in the airport unless you're eating or drinking, and also on the plane. Find a comfortable mask. You don't want to bring a surgical mask. Yeah. That's going to be uncomfortable. Especially if you've got a little facial hair like me. I've got a little salt and pepper action going on right here.
Little scruff.
Little scruff. And you want to have a comfortable mask. And so, kind of do some research. Go on Amazon. You can buy them real cheap. We just bought some the other day, and they're super comfortable. Yeah,
and I will say, too, on that, and I don't know if this is across the board. I don't think it is, but we'll just briefly mention it. The neck gaiters. So we have worn them when we've traveled. When we went to Antigua, we wore them and no one said anything. But George was on a plane recently and they made him take that off and put a mask on that went around his ears. So you may just want to also have that as an option.
Yeah, they have a... Apparently the CDC came out and pretty much said no bandanas, but when you're going onto a plane...
I mean, the neck gaiter is not a bandana. But...
Yeah, but the flight attendant can chalk that up as a bandana.
Yeah, and you don't want to argue with the flight attendant. It drapes over your neck.
So. Yeah, so just have one that goes around the ears for the flight. It's just the best way to go, and I would definitely find one that's comfortable because you're going to have to wear it for a long time.
Yeah.
2-3 hours straight with a mask is not fun.
Yeah. And then last but not least, I get asked a lot, how much cash should I bring? Do I need to convert my money? You don't necessarily need to convert your money. A lot of places, everywhere that I've been will always accept American dollars. I know that in Mexico, they do appreciate getting pesos more than dollars, but, you do want to always carry some sort of cash with you. So what we usually bring is for a full week. If we're going to a resort that requires, or not necessarily requires, but where it's recommended that you tip, we usually bring about $100, $150 for a week for tips.
Yeah.
And then I also like to have just like an extra $200 just in case of, if we're going to a local shop where, it's just a vendor that just accepts cash, we have a little bit of cash. So
yeah, and there's people at the airport that might take your luggage. There's all these little things that you're going to encounter across your journey. Just be good to have a little cash. Not too much. Don't bring a ton of cash, but just a little bit's nice to have.
Yeah, and I usually go to the bank and get a lot of 1s and 5s. So.
Yeah. That way you can tip easy and you're not trying to break change for 50 or 100 or something when you're trying to give someone a few bucks for helping you out.
Yes, that's right.
So
that is all on my packing list.
That is it. That's a good list. So we're going to put it in the show notes below. So if anyone wants to see the visual of it, we'll put it down there. Very easy to do. And now it's time. You want to do trip of the week first?
Well, yeah, we can do trip of the week. So
let's do trip of the week first.
I had a client who finally, we have moved his Jamaica trip 5 or 6 times, and they finally got to go to Jamaica, and they left on Thursday, and they're having a blast. So shout out to Stuart.
Oh man, yeah, Stuart's having a good time. Which resort are they at?
Secrets Wild Orchid.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes, and I mean, we have changed this they were supposed to travel a year ago, and it's been changed. Yeah, like it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back because of COVID. And they finally got to go.
Yeah,
so.
He's having a blast. I've seen some of his stories online. He's having an absolute blast. Shout out Stuart if you're listening. All right, now we have question of the day. Question of the day, and we got a good one here, and it was a submission from one of our listeners, so really cool.
Okay.
She messaged us on our Know Before You Go Travel Instagram account, so we actually have an Instagram account, Know Before You Go Travel Show. So definitely a huge shout out and thank you to our listener, Cheryl Frank, for submitting this on Instagram. Anyways, here we go. She says, hey guys, I have a question of the day idea. What's your favorite outfit to wear when traveling? So I guess you got to think about when traveling. Does that mean like while you're on the plane or while you're on the resort? I got a couple different ideas for this one because I'm going to separate the two.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm becoming a much more casual flyer.
Yeah.
I used to wear more like shorts, and I'll wear like a nice button up. Not a button up, but like, a travel button up with like flamingos on it or palm tree, something beachy
right
on the plane. But now I like to wear something very comfortable, like gym shorts and a light t-shirt on the plane. And I think that's probably my go-to for the plane right now is something super casual.
Yeah.
Almost like gym clothes that are just very light and loose.
I like different outfits for when we are leaving for vacation and coming home. So when leaving,
I agree. That's a very good point.
I still like comfortable. So I will generally wear shorts and then like a comfortable, nicer looking top. Or I like I get them from Loft and Taylor Loft, but they have really nice light dresses that are super casual and comfortable. And I love those, especially, if you're traveling, when it's also warmer here, because it's just super comfortable on the plane to travel like that. Now, when I'm coming home, this might sound bad, but I really don't care what I look like. And so I generally will just have either like some really comfortable leggings or shorts and
just a t-shirt.
And a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's fine.
I like to travel with a t-shirt. And then I love to wear sandals because I always just love flip-flops and sandals. So that's what I travel in.
Yeah, I like wearing, like, for guys, I like, especially going back. Like, if I'm leaving vacation, I'll put on, like, my gym shoes. Yeah. Just normal socks and then gym shorts and, like, a nice light t-shirt. Yeah. And then just because if you're going to be walking in the airport a lot, I like just wear tennis shoes. It's more comfortable for me, at least. Now, going to vacation, that's where I kind of change it up. I'm with you. I'll wear sandals, shorts, and I'll wear like a nice island button-up that's very light and breezy.
I was going to say, you usually do that on the way out.
On the way out, yeah.
And then we're like, once it's over, it's like, I don't care. I'm just going to just look like, I just left the gym.
Yeah, because we film all of our trips and we put them on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, you can go to just search Penyak Travel on YouTube. It pops right up, and you'll see all of our trips. So we usually dress for the occasion on the way there, but no one wants to see us going home. So we stop filming and we're just kind of wearing whatever. Yeah. But I do love putting on my certain button-up shirts. Yeah. And when I say button-up, I mean button-up short sleeves. Yeah. And that is
They're your fun shirts.
Fun shirts.
That have flamingos or palm trees or lobsters on them.
It is vacation mode. When that shirt hits my back,
it's
vacation mode.
Yeah,
it's
and
time to pack.
It's funny to think about that too, because back in the day, like back in the 90s, maybe even before that. Yeah,
maybe not. They didn't dress up that much.
Well, but it used to be like you dressed.
Way back in the day.
You dressed like up to go on the planes.
Like I think that was probably like our grandparents' generation where they literally were like coats. Yeah. Like it was a nice, like almost like a high society thing to do. Right. It was a privilege to go on the plane. So you dressed the part and but nowadays it's become so much more casual.
Yeah, it's very casual.
I can't even imagine flying. I mean, I've done it before. I've flown in my suits before, but I can't imagine that being par for the course like everywhere you go.
Sometimes I have been in some airports and seen what some people are wearing, and I'm like, what are they thinking? Like, wearing like 6-inch heels, like in the Atlanta airport, and I'm like, oh my god, how you have to walk that far?
Maybe for work or something. Well, 6 inches is a little long for work. That's
like a skin tight dress. I'm like, I don't know where you just came from.
Or maybe they're going to the wedding and I don't know. But anyways,
sometimes they didn't look like they're going to a wedding.
They also used to smoke on planes, which blows my mind.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I just can't get over that. Smoking on a plane?
That is wild.
And what's funny is like I think every generation has those things where like when we get to the age of when we have grandkids, we'll be telling things that we used to do, and they'll be like, "Are you nuts?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's how it used to be. No one said anything. I don't know what that'll be, but I'm sure there'll be a couple that.
Oh, I'm sure.
They won't be as bad as smoking on a plane. But.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want any more information on anything that you've heard today, please feel free to reach out. You can slide into our DMs, go to our website, penyaktravel.com. If you click request a quote, it comes as an email directly to me, or feel free to give us a call, 1-800-674-3278.
Yes, we love you guys. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, we would love if you subscribe to the podcast. You guys are the best. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.